look, he's like on the bunny in that one. That's cute and sweet. That, I'm guessing, is before things go horribly wrong. It's a little bit out of control. And if you're already buying books, why not parlay them into a free book? As soon as I get a reward, I'm like, all right, what do I want to get? What do I have my eye on? So we have a forensic I can't talk today if my life depended on it. Hi everybody, it's Audrey and welcome back to Chapter and Converse and welcome to my November book haul. So I would like to say I did not get out of control. I don't feel like this is totally out of control. It's a little bit out of control. Anyway, whatever. I fell victim to some sales. Was lucky enough to be gifted a couple of things. I parlayed some points into a book. Man, did I get pulled in by some covers. So let's just dive into it. First up, let's start with some gifted books because humans are so kind and I am so grateful and I'm so lucky. So I got John Fowles' The Collector. So this was sent to me by Linda as a belated birthday gift, which is so incredibly sweet. So thank you again, Linda. I'm very excited about this. I don't remember what dark, deep research I was doing that I came across this book and saw that it was pitched as the first modern psychological thriller. And I was like, what is this book? I don't know anything about this book because I'm living under a rock and I don't know my psychological thriller history. So this book came out in 1963 and it sounds like all the dark and messed up things that could have been printed today. And I feel like I should give more credit to the past, that there are plenty of dark and messed up authors that I need to discover. But this one reminds me in its concept, so I haven't read it yet, of You by Carolyn Kempness meets The Butterfly Garden by Dot Hutchison. So this book says it's a tale of obsessive love, the story of a lonely clerk who collects butterflies and of the beautiful young art student who is his ultimate quarry. It says it remains unparalleled in its power to startle and mesmerize. So he's a collector of butterflies and people, I guess, or at least of this one girl. So I really wish I could remember where I saw this, but it doesn't even matter. So thank you again, Linda, so much. I'm so excited to get into this. I feel like it's my dark and messed up name written all over it. And then I'm also super, super grateful for Minotaur, who sent me Stacey Willingham's All the Dangerous Things, the arc of this book, which comes out in January. So I have had the good fortune of receiving some arcs in my day, but this was the first time I actually got like a physical like publishing package with like the special box and the stuff inside, and it just such a cool experience. And I'm so incredibly like grateful and humbled by things like this that happen. And I just about screamed because I've never received a package like that before, and it was so cool. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen it's been my first and to date only reel that I've done. I swear I'm gonna do more. I swear I'm gonna do more. But I was so excited for this book. So I read A Flicker in the Dark earlier this year, her debut, and I loved it. Like absolutely obsessed, absolutely loved it. And I was so eager to get this. So I have a couple reading commitments that I need to get to in the next couple of weeks, and then I'm gonna pick this one up and I can't wait for it. So it says, scorned wife, desperate mother, possible suspect. She's all of the above and she will do anything to find the truth, no matter where it leads. So I've been seeing some amazing reviews of this. I wanna stay in the dark about all the dangerous things and just dive in, and I can't wait for this one. I'm so excited. So those are my gifted books. Very excited for that. And then I talked about in a different video a while ago about the Penguin Rewards program. So not sponsored, nothing like that, but basically you can join the program for free on Penguin's website, and I'll leave it down below. And you can earn points for every book you buy by a publisher, almost every book, asterisks. There's a few exceptions which you will see when you try and put a book in. There might be an exception for some reason, but almost every book you buy under the Penguin umbrella. And I collected some more points and I picked up Look Closer by David Ellis. So this was one of those books that I hadn't heard about. And then as soon as I did, I feel like I've been hearing about it everywhere. So we'll file this one also under What Rock Am I Living Under? And now I need to read it. So A, this cover is absolutely beautiful. And B, we have the best lies are ones closest to the truth. That's not actually a B, that's just the line from the inside jacket flap here. So it says, Simon and Vicky couldn't seem more normal, a wealthy Chicago couple with a stable if unexciting marriage. But with these two, absolutely nothing is what it seems. When a beautiful socialite is found hanging in a mansion in a nearby suburb, Simon and Vicky's complex web of secrets begins to unravel. I don't even want to read more than that. So I've just heard some great things about this book. I'm really excited about it. I have not read anything by David Ellis, and I feel like I haven't read a book set in Chicago in a long time. So I just love a little change of scene there too. So I picked that one up. And then we get into, I just kind of have no excuse for what's about to happen here. So first up, I have The Last Party by Claire McIntosh. So this book came out in October or November. It came out in the UK first. I ordered this from Book Depository, and this is an isolated thriller. It's the first actually in a series. I haven't read a Claire McIntosh in a bit of a minute, and when I saw that she was doing an isolated thriller with a detective, I was really excited about it. And then I saw it was going to be a series, so I was like, ooh, another series to get into. So in this one, we have on New Year's Eve, Reese Lloyd has a house full of guests. His lakeside holiday homes are a success, and he's generously invited the village to drink champagne with their wealthy new neighbors. This will be the party to end all parties. But not everyone is there to celebrate, and by midnight, Reese will be floating dead in the freezing waters of the lake. On New Year's Day, DC Fionn Morgan has a village full of suspects. I am trying my best not to stutter over people's names. The tiny community is her home, so the suspects are her neighbors, friends, and family, and Fionn has her own secrets to protect. With a lie uncovered at every turn, soon the question isn't who wanted Reese dead, but who finally killed him. In a village with this many secrets, a murder is just the beginning. So the fact that this takes place on New Year's Eve, no joke, I'm thinking I might make this my first book of 2023. And maybe start it on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. We'll see where I'm at, but I'm gonna try and very strategically plot my reading so I can make that happen, because I am nothing if not psychotic when it comes to things like this. And just when you think it can't get any better, things I didn't know when I was buying the book, look at the naked cover. So this is the UK edition. I love it, I absolutely love it. I have said it before and I will say it again, the US needs to get on board with making our covers and our naked covers and all the things super beautiful, because it 1000% motivates me to buy a book, and I didn't even know it. So that's like a little prize underneath, but all good. And then I also picked up from Book Depository 2 books by Lynn Hendricks. So there's a story to this. So I have His Missing Wife and Her Husband's Murder, and these actually are books that are out in the US, but they have different titles in the UK. So if you are confused, don't worry, so was I. So His Missing Wife is Finding Tessa in the US, and Her Husband's Murder is It Could Be Anyone, which came out earlier this year. So I was listening to the Killing the Tea podcast, and they were raving about Lynn Hendricks. And I was like, you know, I'm super curious about her books now, and I want to read these. And I Googled her, and I saw that she had 4 books. And I was like, why are they only talking about how they read both her books? Like, they have 4, what's happening here? And then I did the trot over to Book Depository, and I realized that these were her UK covers. So I picked up both of them because, no joke, these were combined. I think I spent under $13 because one of them was on sale for like $5 and the other I think was $8. So got them both. Stay tuned. More to come. And then also under the influence of the Killing the Tea podcast, they had mentioned this book 9 Elms by Robert Brinsta. I feel like I'm saying his name wrong. I also realize you guys are getting like super washed out. There we go. That's a little bit better. Because wait for it. So this is the first in the Kate Marshall thriller series. So he wrote The Girl in the Ice, which I actually picked up thrifted. I want to say like the end of last year or the beginning of this year, and I haven't read it yet, but we know how that works here, right? Haven't written yet. But I was hearing about this one, and I do think part of the rereading of the Kay Scarpetta series is definitely making me crave that police investigation even more. So I picked this one up, and you guys, I got this from Amazon, so this is not like a UK special. Oh my God, look at the naked cover of this one. Is this not one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen? I'm obsessed. I'm absolutely obsessed. So yes, please, thank you very much. And I'm excited to get into it. So I wanna say the 4th book is coming out in the UK first. in a couple of months. I'll fact check myself down below. But I'm loving the police investigation side of things. I'm really enjoying being in a series again. And even I had just read both of the Hannah Morrissey books, which take place in Black Harbor, Wisconsin. So in that book, the town, much like with Dublin Murder Squad, is the main character. Dublin Murder Squad is the main character. So you're getting different police, different investigation with some crossover. And you guys know I read some ton of French earlier this year. So I'm really just like in that zone. So this very much appealed to me. So that's happening. And then I also fell victim to the 3 for 2 situation at Amazon that happened over like the Black Friday holiday. So I was buying a book as a gift for somebody and I saw that it was part of the 2 for 3 deal. And I was like, well, I can't let this happen and like not take advantage of it. Let's see what else is on the list. So it's all, we're all friends here. It's fine. So actually, let me talk about these two first, because both of these were under the influence of Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library. So the first one is They Did Bad Things by Lauren A. Forey. So I want to say Lindsay read this earlier this year and she told me that I would love it. So I've had my eye on it for a while and I finally picked it up. So in this one, it like talks about how it's great for fans of Agatha Christie. So it says, and then there were none meets The Last Time I Lied, Riley Sager, in this dark and twisty psychological thriller. So love that. I love that it is set in 1995. We are following a group of 6 university students. I love me a friend group. So in this one, they live at 215 Caldwell Street. And it says, months later, one of them was found dead on the sofa in the morning. Probably that pink sofa right there. After their end of the year party. His death was ruled an accident by the police. The remaining 5 all knew it wasn't. And though they went on with their lives, the truth of what happened to their 6th housemate couldn't stay buried forever. So then we've got 20 years later and they regroup, and I believe we've got dual timelines. So it also is giving me If We Were Villains vibes to it, but you guys know I love anything around a friend group. I love past and present mysteries. I love mysterious death. They all know what happened. So finally picked this up. And then a more recent one is, or just came out recently, is The Butcher and the Wren. So I've heard about this in a bunch of places also. This is by Elena Urquhart. So she's the co-host of the Morbid True Crime podcast. And I'm just falling into the FOMO trap big time, and I just need to know. So this one says, something dark is lurking at the Louisiana Bayou. And I want to say the Stacey Willingham book also takes place in Louisiana, or Flicker in the Dark did. I don't want to read too much about the new one, but anyway. So in this one, we have a methodical serial killer with a penchant for medical experimentation is hard at work completing his most harrowing crime yet, taunting the authorities who desperately try to catch him. So we have a forensic pathologist, Dr. Ren Mueller, and we're just gonna find out what happened. So again, wanting to stay in the happy dark place that I'm in and stay in the dark about the book. And then none of these books are related to anything other than I want to read all of them. So the first one I have is The Good Lie by A.R. Torrey. So this one says they're looking for the truth, they're hiding it too. So in this book, we are following a psychiatrist named Gwen Moore, and she is an expert on killers, and she spent a decade treating California's most depraved predators and unlocking their motives. Predators much like the notorious Bloody Heart serial killer. So here we go, serial killer vibes. So in this one, the serial killer's latest teenage victim escaped and then identified a local high school teacher, Randall Thompson, as his captor. So the case against Thompson as the Bloody Heart killer is damning and closed as far as Gwen and the media are concerned, if not for one new development. So let's find out what that's all about. And then I picked up Kismet by Amina Akhtar. So she wrote Fashion Victim, which I picked up in a thrifted haul this summer. Haven't read it yet, it's fine. And this is another one of those books. So I actually saw Jennifer Hillier raving about this book, which like makes it as good as purchased in my category. Whatever, like Jennifer Hillier is another one. Tell me to do anything and I will do it. No questions asked. So in this one, it says, Yoga Smoothies Murder. Lifelong New Yorker Ronnie Kahn never thought she'd leave Queens. She's not an aim high, dream big person until she meets socialite wellness guru Marley Dewhurst. Marley isn't just a visionary, she's a revelation. Seduced by the fever dream of finding her best self, Ronnie makes for the desert mountains of Sedona, Arizona. Healing yoga, transcendent hikes, epic juice cleanses. Ronnie consumes her new bougie existence like a fine wine. But is it really? Or is this whole self-care business a little bit sour? When the glam gurus around town start turning up gruesomely murdered, yes, there it is, Ronnie has her answer. All is not well in Wellness Town. As Marley's blind ambition veers into madness, Ronnie fears for her life. So again, I've heard really great things about it. Carolyn Kepnes calls it wicked and smart. Things I love, things I love. And then I picked up Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. So this was another one of those books where like I heard about it, but I was like, I don't know. And then I heard about it more and more and I was like, okay, now I need to know. So I kind of even don't want to read what this one's all about. So in this one, I'm just gonna read the top chapter. It says, fresh out of rehab, Mallory Quinn takes a job in the affluent suburb of Springbrook, New Jersey as a babysitter for Ted and Caroline Maxwell. She's to look after their 5-year-old son, Teddy. So Teddy does a lot of drawings. He's a sweet, shy boy, never without his sketchbook and pencil, and his drawings are the usual fare of trees, rabbits, and balloons. But one day he draws something different, a man in a forest dragging a woman's lifeless body. We're gonna stop there. So what's super cool about this book is it's actually, I don't know like what's safe to show and what's not safe to show. It's like actually has the pictures in it. So give me some mixed media and give me some fun stuff. Oh, look, he's like on the bunny in that one. That's cute and sweet. That I'm guessing is before things go horribly wrong. So I've heard great things about it. It's got horror vibes to it, obviously, and sounds very messed up. Stephen King loved it. Grady Hendricks loved it. So I'm giving it a go. And then the last book I have was also 1000% a cover by / I heard about it and then I saw the cover of it and then I decided to buy it. And it's The Cloisters by Katie Hayes. So I was watching an interview with Lauren Nossett, who wrote The Resemblance, which I talked about in the first half of my November wrap up. So she was being interviewed by Ashley Winstead for The Poison Pen, and she was talking about how she read this book. Lauren Nossett was talking about how she read this book. And I was like, oh, I haven't heard of this. What's it all about? And I got super curious about it. And I kind of like hemmed and hawed, and then I saw it and I was like, oh man, I feel like it's not gonna do the good justice on camera, but like the blue is really reflective, never mind the gold. And then it has just like these beautiful, I feel like you can see the blue shimmer there, beautiful end pages. So US got it right this time around. And even the spine has like the little ivy or foliage. I don't know. We can call it whatever we want to call it. But stunningly beautiful. So in this one, it says, behind the closed doors of the cloisters, shocking secrets and a mysterious deck of tarot cards spark a deadly power game within a close-knit group of researchers. So I kind of don't know much else about it besides that, and I'm completely fine with it. We were following a woman named Anne Stillwell, and she's expecting to spend her summer working at the Metropolitan, but instead she finds herself assigned to the Cloisters, a Gothic museum and garden renowned for its collection of medieval art and its enigmatic researchers. Patrick Rowland, the charismatic curator, Rachel Mondre, Patrick's brilliant curatorial associate, and Leo Bitberg, the gardener charged with cultivating the museum's poisonous plants. So things are going to happen, and I'm going to read about it. There you go. Okay. Oh no, I lied. I always lie. I always have one more. The last book I have, which I also, this is what I went in for, and then I picked up The Cloisters at the same time. So I got The Widowmaker by Hannah Morrissey. So I have it on good authority, fact, that Barnes & Noble will put out books ahead of their pub day. Certain books can go out early. So if you guys recall from my October book haul, I got She's Gone by David Bell. And when I saw it in the store, I was like, oh, I'm super intrigued. I haven't heard of this. And then when I got home and went online to look it up, I realized it hadn't come out yet. But apparently it's a thing. So I have started to stock my Barnes & Noble ahead of pub dates for some books to see if they're there. And no joke, they had one copy of The Widowmaker. I got this, I think right before Thanksgiving or right after Thanksgiving. Doesn't matter. Got it before it came out. So I already had the e-arc of it, which I was reading, and then I switched over to the book. But anyway, this is book 2 in the Black Harbor series, and I absolutely loved it. It was totally amazing. So Hello Transcriber is the first book in the series. I swear I have not filmed these videos on the same day as like the last group of videos you guys saw, but it just happens, I just happened to have stuff near me because I was taking pictures. But the town of Black Harbor, Wisconsin, which I talked about earlier in this video, is the main character of the series. So we get new characters from Hello Transcriber. We get a new crime. This is this wealthy family, the Reynolds, whose matriarch, Clive Reynolds, disappeared 20 years ago. And at the time, his wife was kind of like suspect number one, but the case was never solved. And then we get a new crime in the present day, which leads to a lead in Clive's disappearance. So we have a new detective, like new to the series, new to us, Ryan Hudson, who, sidebar, does anybody else watch Nancy Drew? And every time I hear Ryan Hudson, I can't not think about Nancy Drew. So he's the detective on the case, and then we have a photographer named Morgan, and they wind up joining forces. So absolutely great. If you have not read either of her books, like I said before, you're missing out. So definitely pick those up, because that's what I did. So on that note, I'm gonna call it a day on this video. Let me know if you guys picked up any new books in November. Let me know what you're excited about picking up. Thank you again to Linda for sending me The Collector. Thank you again to Minotaur for sending me Stacey Willingham. When I say you have like made my day, week, month, like that is the understatement of the century. So thank you everybody for watching, for being here, and I hope everyone's doing well, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye everybody.